Imagine watching the love of your life walk across a stage in her graduation gown, smiling at the crowd, and within hours, she hands you divorce papers. No fight, no tears, just a signature. I stayed silent that day, but 10 years later, when she came back, my silence spoke louder than any revenge ever could. My name is Daniel, and this story begins the night my wife Emma achieved what she'd been dreaming of for years, her master's degree. We'd been together since college, me, the one working 2 jobs to support us, her, the ambitious one who wanted more from life. I believed in her dreams more than my own. I paid her tuition when scholarships fell short. I cooked, cleaned, and encouraged her when she wanted to quit. She used to say, "When I make it, Daniel, we make it." But when that day came, she made it alone. After the ceremony, she barely looked at me. Something in her had changed. Her eyes didn't hold the same warmth. We went to dinner with her classmates and professors, and I noticed how she laughed at their jokes, the kind of laugh she used to save for me. That night as we got home, she placed an envelope on the kitchen table. I thought it was a thank you card, but it wasn't. "I want a divorce," she said, her voice flat, almost rehearsed. I laughed nervously. "What are you talking about? You just graduated. This is your big day." "I'm done, Daniel," she said, not meeting my eyes. "I've changed. We want different things. You're holding me back." Those words hit harder than anything I'd ever heard. Holding her back, I'd given up my own education, my savings, my time, all to help her reach this point. I stood there, speechless. My hands trembled as I opened the papers. Everything was already filled out. She'd planned it. I didn't argue, didn't beg, didn't cry. I just picked up a pen, signed, and said quietly, "Congratulations, Emma. You finally got everything you wanted." She looked startled, maybe expecting me to fight, to make a scene. But I didn't. I simply walked away. I moved out the next morning. No drama, no shouting, just silence. The first few years were hard. I worked construction by day and studied at night, finally earning my business degree at 35. I turned that degree into something more, a small contracting company that grew faster than I could imagine. I stayed off social media, ignored the gossip, and focused on building my future, the one she said I couldn't have. 10 years later, I was invited to a charity gala downtown. My company had sponsored part of it, and I was now one of the guest speakers. I didn't think much about who else might be there, until I saw her. Emma. She was standing across the hall, dressed elegantly, still beautiful but older, and alone. When she saw me, she froze. Her eyes widened, then softened into something like regret. She approached me slowly, smiling nervously. "Daniel, wow, you look different." "Successful?" I said with a small smile. Her face flushed. "I heard about your company. You've done really well." "Yeah," I replied. "Turns out I wasn't holding anyone back after all." She laughed awkwardly. "I guess not." As we talked, I noticed she kept glancing at my left hand, the ring that wasn't there. "So," she asked, "are you married now?" I shook my head. "No, I learned to take my time choosing who deserves to stand beside me." Her smile faded. "I see." Later that evening, during my speech, I mentioned how success isn't about how fast you climb. It's about who stands by you when you have nothing. I didn't mention names, but when I looked out into the audience, her eyes were full of tears. After the event, she waited near the exit. "Daniel," she said softly, "I made a mistake. I thought I needed freedom, but all I found was loneliness. You were the best thing that ever happened to me." I looked at her for a long moment. The man I once was would have crumbled hearing that, but the man I'd become just smiled. "I'm glad you realized that," I said gently, "but some lessons come too late." She reached out to touch my arm, but I stepped back. "Take care, Emma," I said quietly. "I wish you all the success you left me for." And with that, I walked away, the same way I did 10 years ago. Silent. But this time, that silence wasn't pain. It was power, because sometimes revenge doesn't need noise, it just needs time. If you liked the video, please subscribe and turn on notifications.